welcome to Dream Home Season 7, powered by Johnson Tiles, co-presented by ACC Cements Prayag, HPL Wires and Asset Homes. So let me welcome our judges to you, Ms. Sudha and Mr. Jibu John. So on today's episode, we present before you from Palakkad, Nikunj house. Judges, let's take a look.
Both of the judges would be having 100 marks each, wherein this 100 marks is again subdivided into 10 different aspects, which includes exteriors, interiors, decor and lighting, landscaping, kitchen, bathroom, flooring, wardrobe, painting and value for money.
No words to explain my heartly feelings right now, because this is very beautiful and it has been my favorite home till now, and I am so sure that all the audience must have been, you know, looking forward to actually hear the valuable comments from our wonderful judges. So starting with Ms. Sudha, the exteriors.
As you have seen, it's a totally different exterior. You can't put a name, theme or a era or a style to it. It's a unique style of its own. Definitely some what do you call, a showstopper. You're going to stop
exactly.
by, you're going to look at it and you keep moving on. That's the beauty of this house. The uniqueness comes out of a totally non-conformist kind of design. You don't see beams, columns, sloping roofs, nothing. You just see a lot of forms, and the forms have blended in beautifully. It's set so beautifully that it's a drama of its own. The only thing that I might have in disagreement is probably the location, which of course the architect doesn't have any hand in it. Situated in Palakkad, I don't know how well. I mean, probably it's going to stay as a contrast to it. I think it's a beautifully done. It's a creation by itself. It's really beautifully done. I'll give it an 8.
8 out of 10 for exterior, starting with really good marks. Let's see what Jibu sir has to say about it.
Sudha had told most of the things. From my side, I feel that you need a client and you need a good architect to build a product like this. It is actually quite original. The forms and the look of the total product speaks by itself. There has been no conventions that is followed. Everything is quite original, and I think that impact will be there for a passerby also, because this is something which you don't generally expect.
Exactly.
I'll give it 8.5.
8.5 out of 10. Interiors.
The interiors absolutely live up to the exteriors. The simplicity, I would say the simplicity of the exteriors is totally taken into the interiors. What really attracts me to the interiors is the fact that there's very subtle designing, but a lot of designing has gone into it. It doesn't show. There's no extravagant colors, there's no new type of materials that boasts itself. Everything is so subtly planned and so beautifully kept. Straight lines, form, you say in architectural jargon, form following function. You see all that here. So I'd give it another 8.
8 out of 10, Mr. Chipu.
I would say that it is very difficult to create simplicity.
Correct.
So that is what is achieved here. They have not done anything, you don't feel like they've done something extra, but every bit of small space seems to be well thought of, well detailed. You can see the extremely good lighting detail they've followed, which maybe, I don't know if people might have noticed it, but that strips of lighting that is there in the walls and the details of the carporch and everywhere. So such minor detailing, such simplicity is actually quite efficiently achieved. I will give it 8.
8 again. Decor and lighting.
As you can see, natural light has been brought in plenty. In fact, an excess. It's so beautifully designed. Also, it has been filtered out by the courtyards in between. That is the natural light that comes in. The seating by the window is my favorite, by the side of the living room. Each piece of furniture has been thought about and related to the context at hand. And the yellow is about the only color that has been brought in as a color, not as a natural element. So then that yellow sofa, which is slightly angular, the yellow bedspreads also for the cots. So these things, everything else is kept to its natural tone, and the beauty is the flooring as well. So with all these things put together, it has come out to be a beautiful design, and you'll find these designer chairs like the Barcelona chair that has come in there. That's also adds its classical style to it. So it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
8 out of 10, Mr. Jibbo.
General theme of simplicity with the white color, the glass and the Gota stone flooring. If you take the furnitures alone, the drawing room sofas, the different dining room furniture with the glass and the white, and the lighting which I've earlier told. So all these things with the gardens in between, acting as skylighting and as green pockets for the positive energy of the rooms inside. I think the decor and lighting has worked out very well. I'll give it 8.
8 out of 10. Landscaping.
As I was viewing this and I was marking it, the landscape was a little disappointing in the beginning because I thought there were only lawns on the outside. So it really didn't give me Palakkad feel. So I was a little disappointed. I marked it as 6.5. When I finished watching it, I added one more mark, which is another. It totals to 7.5 because of the beautiful landscaping inside the courtyards. These courtyards I don't think is visible from the outside, but there is an array of plants of different heights, the lawns. Starting from the lawns to the taller plants are there, because I would have liked to see some taller trees around the periphery of the house on the exterior, which was not there. So I'll give it a 7.5, including the landscape inside.
7.5 out of 10 by Ms. Sudha. Mr. Jibbo.
Landscaping is quite good. I think the concept, basically what they followed is, there is not much space in the front, but they wanted a plain landscaping so that this whole mass seems to be coming out of it. So that is why they might have gone for a plain lawn with no vertical landscaping applied to it. That is what I think they must have, the concept must have been like that. Or regarding the interiors, they bought in all the plants wherever is necessary. So from the rooms also you have a visual connection with the green. So that also can be considered as effective landscaping. I'll give it 7.
7 out of 10. Kitchen.
Simple, straight, stark. The flooring is Kota, the top is white. That white, greyish green simply beautifully gels. There's nothing else in it. You just see straight lines everywhere. There's no checks, there's no pattern. It's a beautiful relief to see a very simple, straight kitchen. I'll give it a 7.
7 out of 10. What about you, Mr. Jibbo?
I think the kitchen has been really done well, because it is very practical, it suits the house, the color coding is right. I'll give it 8.2.
8.2 out of 10. Bathroom.
The bathrooms are also greatly detailed out in the sense that you can see the single color being used, the white closets, faucets, the body jets, the shower panels, all been planned out really well, the glass partitions put together, and a little bit of greenery with the dark plants, palms that are there within the bathroom itself. It's all come out really well. It's 7.5.
7.5 out of 10, Mr. Jibbo.
I'll give it 7.
7 out of 10. Flooring.
Flooring, I think they couldn't have chosen a better material for the flooring for this kind of a simplistic design, because this stone has such a subtle green. You can't call it green, you can't call it grey. It's such a beautiful natural shade, and the beauty is it's a natural stone. You could have gone for a tile for it, but that would have given it a very artificial feel. This naturalness here really enhances the entire interiors. The white walls also put together, the Kota stone. It's perfect. It's 7.8.
7.8 out of 10, Mr. Jibbo.
Flooring is almost like you have to flow from one room to the other, without any, any borders or any. That is what is achieved here. The Kota stone, and that too, I think quite good quality Kota stone, because the uniformity of the color is very evident. That is flowing through all the rooms, and it is not that you have something specifically doing something to design the flooring or anything. And even in the steps, and where they've used one part of the steps as a folded stainless steel plate, all these things add up to the total value of the flooring. I'll give it 8.
8 out of 10. Wardrobe.
I think we in Kerala must realize that we can do without the color of wood. I think that is one thing that this design teaches us. So even if it was wardrobes, even if it's furniture, there's no color of wood being brought in, which is a huge relief actually. So we see a wardrobe which is a walk-in sort of a wardrobe. You've got mirrors on both sides, it's got sliding doors. Technology has been used here to the ultimate. It's sleek wardrobes with mirrors wherever it should be. It's beautifully planned out as it's, I think, beside or in front of the bathrooms. I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10, Mr. Jippo.
So 7.5.
7.5 out of 10. Paintings.
Here is the example of how you can use a single color to highlight things and not overdo it and still have the focal point, as we call it. The single color that is used is yellow, which is beautiful contrast with the, but not bright. It's not the yellow that rushes out at you. It's a very subtle kind of yellow, but it's beautifully highlighted by the duller shades of greenish gray, and the white background really offsets the yellow beautifully. So the color exterior as well as interiors is great. 7.
7 out of 10, Mr. Jippo.
Coloring, I think the exterior, if you look at it, the various mass forms which is seen, they've gone for the white and grey, which complements each other well. You know, in fact, if it was one color, it would not have given this kind of an effect. While going to the interiors, it's purely white color with the painting. I think the colors that contrast it is basically the flooring, which is cotta, and maybe a couple of cushions and cords which are done in the yellow one. So the white and the yellow, the only two colors used apart from the floor of green, really gives that simplicity to the entire house. I'll go for 7.5.
7.5 out of 10. Value for money.
I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10. I think this home has set examples for many things, right? So what do you
Very
think
much.
about the value for money?
And I'll give it an 8.
8 out of 10. And I'm so sure that you guys are very much excited to know the total marks of this home. And even the judges are very, very, very impressed. And impressive marks starting from exteriors to value for money. And the total marks given by Mr. Daz 75.8 and by Mr. Jivo 77.7. And yes, one of the highest scored home so far, which makes a total of 153.5. Now I'm so sure that you guys have understood our competition is getting very, very tight and tougher each day, as each home, every home is equally beautiful and unique its own style. So we'll be back tomorrow with yet another beautiful home. Until then, this is Archana Ravi and the entire team of Dream Home Season 7, powered by Jones & Tiles, co-presented by ACC Cements, Prayak, HPL Wires and Asset Home. Signing off. Tata.